Well, health and money, both essential part of this crisis. And you know by now, Wall Street and your retirement accounts are a mess. Financially, many people might not fully recover for months, if not years. Our friends and neighbors and family members being laid off or simply not getting their paychecks. So what now? Let's bring in David Barson. He's the president of Barson Financial Planning. David now joins us from San Mateo. David, thanks to you for your time. We can talk about the 30,000-foot view and what's happening with the stock market, but just the everyday down to the street level question. When are my friends and neighbors and family members going to get their jobs back? Do you have any indication here?
Hi, Raj. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so I think the issue with the unemployment situation is it depends on how long this shelter in place lasts. So as long as we're sheltering in place and dealing with the economy as it is, we don't have an indication exactly how long the unemployment picture is going to last like this, but it likely will go on for some time, months, I would say.
I know Goldman Sachs just put out their report that they say more than 2 million people file for unemployment this week alone. That's a huge number, a historic number. Will that number continue to rise in the next couple of weeks?
I don't think it will rise in the next couple of weeks, but I anticipate to continue on. Because we've heard from companies that the employment picture is not good and that there are going to be additional layoffs, but that number was an historically high number. So I do anticipate there to be continued additional claims, but I don't anticipate it to be as high as it was.
David, with the stock slumping, seems like an odd question here, but is this a good time to actually buy? Would you recommend that to your clients?
So that's a good question. I'm actually getting that question a lot from clients, and it really depends on the individual. So an individual who is a short-term investor with their money, maybe they need that money to live, or maybe they need that money for a down payment for a house or a car or something along those lines, the answer is no. But for somebody who is putting money into the retirement every single month or every single paycheck, yes, continue doing that. I mean, you have 15, 20, maybe 30 years before you're going to need that money. And historically, markets have been positive over long periods of time.
Another opportunity, if I'm a homeowner here in the Bay Area, is this a time to refi? Because we hear the headlines that the Fed has slashed the rates. Is it a time to refi? And do we just go ahead and call our banks and say, can we do it now?
So I think that, with the market going down, there has been a silver lining, and that is the interest rates going down. However, it is not as clear as just going out and finding a mortgage, because like many people, they are looking for to refinance right now. So there's a lot of demand for refinances. I called two mortgage brokers last week, and one of them gave me a rate of 3% for a 30-year fix, and the other gave me a rate of 4% for a 30-year fix. So it really depends. People should shop around, and it just kind of depends on what sort of demand those individual mortgage brokers have.
Yeah, 3% to 4%, that's a big swing. It doesn't seem like it, but that's a big difference here. And final question as we wrap it up, and we thank you for your time. We know you're a financial planner, but how do you talk to your clients in this time of crisis, more the emotional part, because they must be calling you not only for financial guidance here, but really this is a life and health guidance as well.
Right, and there's three things that I'm working with my clients on. And the first thing is trying to determine how much cash they have on hand. You should have somewhere between 6 and 12 months of cash on hand for living expenses, just in case there's an emergency, you lose your job, health reasons. And then I'm asking them, is there any changes to their situation? And based on that, if there are changes, they lost their job, their spouse lost their job, it's trying to figure out what the mix of stocks, bonds, and cash they should have that's appropriate to get them through these tough times.
And for a lot of us that simply, we know the guidance, have 6 to 12 months of cash reserves, but what if we don't?
Yeah, I think what you have to do is then go back to your budget, take a look and see where you're at. Try and cut back those non-essential items. I mean, we're doing a lot of this already, which is entertainment and travel and stuff like that. Take that extra money if you have it at the end of the month and start to build that cushion.
Okay, David Barson, thank you for your time. We might be checking in with you periodically as this all unfolds. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Raj. Appreciate it.